Hello everyone, it's Davy Mooney coming to you from the University of North Texas, where I run the jazz guitar program. I'm a Benedetto artist, Sunnyside Records artist. I got my Sunnyside Records discography, Perrier Street, Hope of Home, Benign Strangers, the most recent one, Live at National Sawdust, my Mel Bay book, Personalizing Jazz Vocabulary, and getting ready to record the examples for a new book about position playing on jazz guitar. So stay tuned for that. Shout out to Jazz Guitar Today for helping me get these videos out into the universe. And today I want to talk about the Wayne Shorter tune Fi Fo Fum. One of the great tunes that on Speak No Evil, one of his many masterpieces. I feel like you get kind of superlative heavy with Wayne Shorter, but what a career, you know. He's still going, working on an opera, I believe, right? It's coming out pretty soon, Iphigenia, and excited about that. But yeah, Speak No Evil, 1964, 65, something like that. Elvin Jones, Ron Carter, Herbie Hancock, Freddie Hubbard. And you know, I remember when I was an undergrad here at UNT, Fred Hamilton, who's my predecessor in this position, had me learn all the tunes from Speak No Evil. Remember, I came in wanting to learn, I was really into standards. I wanted to learn all of the Gershwin, all of Cole Porter, all of Harold Arlen and stuff like that, which I didn't learn all their music, but I was working on that concurrently. But Fred was like, you got to learn the tunes from this record. And so I did, and Fi Fo Fum is one of my favorites. And I've been working on it with students here at UNT, because it's really, I love how it's real swinging and very blues based in certain respects. At the same time, there's some harmonic curveballs that it throws you, where you think you're going to be cool just playing like bluesy G minor, bluesy B flat major, and then there's a couple chords where you're like, oh. And I love the tempo too. I love the groove of it. I've actually been playing it solo guitar lately, and for some reason, probably because I'm from New Orleans, I always kind of relate this tune to like a New Orleans groove. There's a particular tune, a Lee Dorsey tune, Work, 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 that has, it's like the tempo is almost the same, and it's a two feel, like the, Fi Fo Fum on the head is a two feel. Although, of course, on the Lee Dorsey record, the drums, there's very backbeat heavy snare on 2 and 4. And obviously, Elvin is doing a different thing. That ride cymbal is more prominent. But it's interesting how, in a certain sense, those grooves are so similar. They're both swung in a way. But I always point that out to my students, and it's hard for me to play that tempo without getting a little... Anyway, but regarding the chords of the tune, it's in G minor, although there's an intro that is fascinating to me. Some of the tunes on, those Wayne Shorter records, all of Wayne Shorter's music really, they have an intro that I think they're rarely played, and in a certain sense, the intro to Fi Fo Fum, it seems like it doesn't have that much to do with the tune that comes after it. Of course, I don't mean to be presumptuous, but just in terms of the harmony, it starts on like an A-flat sus, and then there's a series of chords over an F pedal, and then like a D7, sharp 9, and A-flat 13, and it resolves to C minor, which I think is kind of interesting. And then the tune is kind of more G minor / B-flat major, and blues tonality, blues harmony throughout. But yeah, the intros are really cool on that record. And in all of Wayne Shorter's music. There's a lot of depth, compositional depth to his music that sometimes we gloss over in just trying to play our solos or whatever over his tunes. But when you get to the main part of the tune, basically you got E flat 7, D7, G minor. And I mentioned the blues harmony because the melody, like over the D7, there's a G natural that happens, right? So it's not really G harmonic minor, although of course you can play that when you're soloing, there's a little bit of that G minor pentatonic going on in the melody. And the E flat 7, it's almost like the blues note. And you could treat it both ways. You know, you could play, or you could play. And both sounds would fit that harmony. Although shortly thereafter, so you got your sort of bluesy 2/5 to G minor, and then an A flat major 7, which I guess is sort of a 5 of G minor. And if you continue that idea of G minor pentatonic, you know, when you have a major 7 sharp 11 sound, if you go down a half step and play minor pentatonic, that's a cool way to deal with it. Like, so in a way, over the first 4 chords of the tune, you could play G minor pentatonic, or, you know, G blues to a certain extent if you pick your notes, you know, judiciously. And then after that, this is where one of the curveballs comes in. You get a B major 7 to a D13 to a D minor G7. And so if you're in you know, G blues world, the B major is going to be kind of an issue. Although that B major comes back at the end of the song. So the B major is kind of a very important harmonic turn that this tune takes. And I love that progression. B major 7, D13, D minor. And you know, in terms of playing on it, the simplest way that I guess to explain what I do is I play a few notes from B major, from a B major 7, or maybe some type of pentatonic, like on a major 7 chord. If it's a sharp 11 sound, like I said, I'll often go down a half step and play a minor pentatonic. But if it's just kind of your standard major 7, major 9 chord, I'll play a pentatonic, minor pentatonic off the 3rd. And I always convert things to minor pentatonic because I'm a guitar player. And that's the you know, the first scale that we all learn, sometimes the only scale that we learn. But then again, I've only got 2 beats to play that chord, and then I got a D7. So often I'll just grab a few notes from each chord, you know. On the D7 I can play B minor pentatonic, so you kind of have like a B major to B minor kind of sound. But and in this different areas of the guitar I go for like different grips. So there's a B major, there's the D major, D7. So yeah, basically the little dance of this tune to me is going in and out of that sort of bluesy minor harmony, which you need to get the right flavor, but then not neglect those chords as they come at you, the more curveball kind of chords. So after that, it repeats. You have the G minor to A flat again, and then you have this 2/5 in B flat, like a C7, F7, B flat, which, you know, G minor, B flat, that's the key center of the tune. Of course, it's kind of a B flat dominant, again, blues harmony, and you can see from the melody there. And the bridge is kind of cool. You have E flat 7 for 2 bars going to B flat, but in the melody, it's kind of interesting how the horns play in fourths. But on the E flat 7, first chord of the bridge, they play, like I said, the trumpet's playing a C, tenor's playing G, then they go up, you got a perfect 4th, so you have A flat over E flat 7, and then you also have a sharp 4. So I think that's kind of interesting to have both of them in there. It repeats, and then you have B flat minor to E flat 7, A minor to D7 to get you out of the bridge. Then the last day, same as the first day at first. You have this again. Then the last little part, you got E flat 7, D7, D flat major 7, C7, B. You have that B major again, hanging out there. So the last little bit. It hits on 4 like that. And you know, those types of progressions where you have dominant 7 chords going down chromatically, or these kinds of cycles, that's something that comes up a lot in tunes from this era. I think about like Joe Henderson, Serenity, you know, you have that. And there's a Harold Land tune called Ursula that I love on West Coast Blues with Wes Montgomery and Barry Harrison. I've kind of evolved on how I approach this type of harmony. Something about my musical personality and the way I've you know, developed as a player has led me to, for a long time, when I see a progression like that, I always want to zoom out and find a larger sort of functional progression that I can put those chords into. So in a certain sense, that could kind of be thought of as A minor 7 flat 5 to D7, G minor 7 flat 5, C7, and then instead of an F minor, a B major, sort of a deceptive progression. Although at the same time, you know, as I try to square my sort of theoretical knowledge of functional harmony and trying to fit progressions into that framework, I'll go and listen to a record, I don't know, say McCoy Tyner playing on Serenity, somebody like that, and you know, this isn't an exact example, but the idea that you could play this. And it sounds really good, you know, on E flat 7, just play some notes of an E flat 7 chord, maybe, you know, in a sort of one, you could do a 1, 2, 3, 5 cycle. And that can sound just as cool as any sort of way, another approach you could take and try to make it sound like. That's me trying to make it be A minor 7 flat 5, D7, G minor 7 flat 5, C7. I don't know, it's almost kind of not necessary, and yet it's part of my musical personality to oscillate between those two approaches. And I think, you know, I always try to analyze, like, why do I do what I do, especially as a teacher, trying to show other people how to deal with this harmony. And I think part of it is the reason I almost feel guilty about doing that is how easy it is on the guitar to do. You know, stuff when the chords are going down and you can just move things down in half steps on the fretboard. Somehow that felt like cheating. But of course, you know, that's a silly way to think about it. You know, it's good to have some theoretical knowledge of this stuff, but also the test is to go to actual records where you hear somebody like McCoy or Herbie or whomever playing on them and see what they actually play. And that's got to, you know, that's the source, right? And sometimes these tunes were, you could tell they were new, and I don't think the musicians on the records always had the luxury of 50 years of accumulated knowledge to deal with these progressions the way we do today, and the time to analyze. So, you know, you hear people going for it on these records, and that's kind of the beauty of it. Sometimes they don't always hit like the perfect notes, but the spirit is definitely there. So yeah, like I said, and that's really great tune. I recommend it to everyone, and I've been having my students work on it, get that swing feel. And yeah, Wayne Shorter, y'all. I think I was thinking the other day about how, you know, in England sometimes our, you know, even pop stars and artists get knighted, right, by the Queen. I feel like if anybody deserves a knighthood in American arts, it's Wayne Shorter. So I'm going to play a little bit on this tune, and I hope you enjoy it.